guys, welcome back to the Raid News Desk with your host, Ash. Today we have the champion buffs for Halloween 2025. Happy Halloween. Happy belated to anybody watching beyond that. We have the two champion buffs. Unfortunately, they are not the Halloween champions from yesteryear. No Harvest Jack, no Brackus the Shifter. But I will say that I think they nailed it on both of these buffs. Let's go ahead and take a look at them. Alright guys, so first up is Narma the Returned. Now, kind of awkward, I just recorded a video yesterday talking about the worst legendaries in the game, and Narma was on the list, but I did go ahead and give a news update in that video, which is scheduled to go live in a couple hours on my main channel, Ash Raid Shadow Legends. Anyway, Narma the Returned is getting a big buff. You guys can go ahead right now and see the entirety of the changes, but let's zoom in and see what they're changing, starting with the A1 ability here. A1 ability will now have a 50 booked up to 75% chance to increase the duration of all debuffs on the target for one turn. That's a really nasty A1 ability. It used to be a 40% chance booked up to 60 to do 3 random debuff extensions, okay? On the A2, it used to be a decrease attack single target for 3 turns. Now on a 3-turn cooldown when booked. Now it is a decreased attack for 3 turns, a leech on all enemies for 2 turns, and then instant activation of all poisons, and then you have the heals all allies by 25% of this champion's max HP. Hell yeah, a big buff to the heal as well there. On the A3, and not to mention the poison activation and the leech. On the A3, it used to be 3 poisons and a poison sensitivity on a single target for 3 turns. Now, if the initial target's already under 3 or more debuffs, it places 3 poisons and a poison sensitivity on all enemies for 3 turns instead. This is 5 booked down to a 3-turn cooldown. They're also adding this entire passive to Narma the Returned. Whenever an ally is attacked, has a 25% chance to place a poison debuff on the attacker for 2 turns. This is very strong because it applies to all allies with no cooldowns. Whenever this champion is attacked, the chance increases to 50%. Man, she's one of the best poisoners out there, I feel like, in the game now. Very unique as well. Enemies under poison debuffs inflict 5% less damage for each poison debuff on them, so you can fairly easily stack up to a 25% damage mitigation vis-a-vis the poisons as well. They're also bumping her speed from a 95 base to a 100 base. So man, I think they absolutely nailed it on Narma the Returned. Let's go ahead and take a look at Belletar Mage-Slayer, who is a Void or Ogryn tribe reviver, right? Really one of the only capable revivers in all of Ogryn tribe. So what are they doing to this big fella? He's a Void affinity champion, so he ought to be good. He's an HP based against support. We have attack 1 enemy 75% booked up to 100 of decreasing the cooldown of a random skill on the ally with the highest turn meter except this champion by 1 turn. Very nice A1 ability. That's 100% all the way up from a 30% base before the buff, right? It could be booked up, but still, that's significant. On the A2, we have an increased attack, an increased defense, on all allies. That's the way it used to be. We also have the heal, but now we have a turn meter fill by 20% on a 4 booked down to a 3-turn cooldown on the A2. So now we have that turn meter fill as well. Pretty solid. We have the revive. It's an AoE revive, It's an AoE revive, and they added block debuffs to the revive. So it's a 50% HP, 50% turn meter, a shield equal to 20% of this champion's max HP, and a block debuffs for 2 turns. This is a 6 booked down to a 4-turn AoE revive. It's not the strongest AoE revive in the game. It still feels, I'm not going to lie, a little bit lackluster for a Void Legendary, but the passive definitely helps it out in a big way. So the passive is also getting a buff. Has a 75% chance booked up to 100. It used to be 50 booked up to 70, okay? 100% chance when booked of decreasing all of an ally's skill cooldowns by 1 turn whenever they're revived. And that's an AoE revive, right? Once per turn. This is added on. This is a big one. If an ally is killed, reduces the cooldowns of all of this champion's skills by 1 turn. So really helping to get the AoE revive off cooldown when somebody is killed. And that happens once per turn. In between turns if an ally is killed. So you put that all together, the last addition is going to be his speed. It's going to be increased from 98 base speed to 103 base speed. I have to say they've really nailed some of these Ogryn tribes, not all, but some of these buffs, and I like this one a lot too. Listen, Narma would have been top on my very, like, my master list of champions they need to buff, right? Like, Narma sucks. Dark Kale is 100 times better than her, and that's an epic champion who's farmable, right? But now I love what they did to Narma. Belletar Mage-Slayer, I think he really needed a buff, so I'm happy they buffed him. He wouldn't have been my top choice overall, but he needed it. So I am happy with this round of buffs. Man, I wish they would sprinkle in a third Planarium. But anyway, guys, we can end the video there. That's the news for the day. What do you think of these buffs? Narma especially, think of all the interesting combos that you can have with her on poison comps. Really, really interesting buff there. I think she'll have beautiful synergy with other poisoners as well. She even has maybe some of that Euros the Soul Cage or Taragi the Frog kind of vibe going on with the poisons placed just by being attacked, her or her allies. So I really like what they did to her. Guys, that's the news for the day. Thank you for watching. Much love. And as always, take care, guys. Have a safe and happy Halloween if you're going out there too.